Praise be to Jesus. Hello again, everyone. Charles Whitty here. Here's your afternoon Catholic news update for September 12, 2018. A Roman Catholic priest has been charged with sexually assaulting a young girl while staying in her family's Massachusetts home in 2006. The Reverend Christian Ohazulumi pleaded not guilty Tuesday to aggravated indecent assault and battery of a child under 14. Bail was set at $5,000. Pope Francis is summoning the presidents of every bishops' conference around the world for a February summit to discuss preventing clergy sex abuse and protecting children. Evidence that he realizes the scandal is global and that inaction threatens to undermine his legacy. Francis's key cardinal advisors announced the decision Wednesday, a day before Francis meets with U.S. church leaders who have been deeply discredited by the latest accusations in the Catholic Church's decades-long sex abuse and cover-up scandal. In a tweet, Raymond Arroyo from EWTN said, in announcing the Synod for, quote, the protection of minors, unquote, the Vatican has sought to recast the sex abuse crisis. In the U.S. and parts of Europe, the protection of minors has been largely dealt with. This latest fallout is over bishops abusing their power, plus the abuse of seminarians. A report on sexual abuse inside the Catholic Church in Germany details 3,677 abuse cases by clergy between 1946 and 2014, two leading German media outlets said Wednesday. The report, commissioned by the German Bishops' Conference and researched by 3 universities, concludes that more than half of the victims were 13 or younger and most were boys. The report also says that the actual number of victims was likely much higher, according to the research by experts. Allegations that Pope Francis lifted restrictions from now ex-Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, despite knowing he was a sexual predator, are, quote, grave charges, unquote, that, quote, must be investigated and shown either true or false, unquote, said Indiana Bishop Donald Heiling. Quote, these are grave charges. Clearly, these assertions must be investigated and shown either true or false, unquote, he added. Pope Francis has accepted the resignation of a Brazilian bishop who was arrested earlier this year along with other church officials on accusations they stole hundreds of thousands of dollars in church funds. Francis replaced Formosa Bishop Jose Ronaldo Ribeiro with a temporary administrator, a maneuver he has been using in places where he needs to get rid of bishops quickly and doesn't have a permanent successor lined up. The Argentine Pope had named Ribeiro to the post in 2014. But in March, Ribeiro and several other priests were arrested and accused of diverting about $600,000 from church collections, according to Brazilian media reports. Francis is under increasing pressure to sanction bishops accused of misconduct, sexual, financial, or otherwise, amid a revolt from laity over their privileges. As U.S. Catholic leaders head to the Vatican to meet with Pope Francis about a growing church abuse crisis, The cardinal leading the delegation has been accused by two people of not doing enough to stop a priest who was arrested this week on sexual abuse charges. The two people told the Associated Press that they reported the priest and met with Cardinal Daniel DiNardo of the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. One of them says she was promised in a meeting with DiNardo several years after she first reported abuse that the priest would be removed from any contact with children, only to discover that the priest remained in active ministry at another parish 70 miles away. The priest, Manuel La Rosa Lopez, was arrested Tuesday by police in Conroe, Texas. Both people who spoke to the AP are cooperating with police. Mothers with young families continue to protest outside Cardinal Joseph Tobin's chancery, hoping for a canonical investigation into the New Jersey prelate's potential crimes related to sex abuse cover-up. A group of parents, joined by others, have been protesting outside of the Archdiocese of Newark's Cathedral on a regular basis. The group, Rebuild My Church, New Jersey Catholics Against Sexual Abuse, is demanding an independent investigation into civil and ecclesiastical crimes committed in the Archdiocese. The Diocese of Buffalo has been caught in an apparent lie about the number of clergy accused of sex abuse. According to local news outfit WKBW Buffalo, the diocese's own internal documents contradict the claim made publicly by the diocese in March that only 42 priests in the diocese, quote, were removed from ministry, were retired, or left ministry after allegations of sexual abuse of a minor, unquote. In addition to the 42 priests named publicly by the diocese under Bishop Richard Malone, the diocese's own internal files list credible sex abuse allegations against another 64 priests, for a grand total of 106. There are also 11 accused priests whose names the diocese removed because the allegations were deemed not credible. And those are your Catholic news updates for this evening. Enjoy your day or evening, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.